Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there's a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on a Wednesday, also known as Tony's favorite day of the week. A little different this week with 4th of July tomorrow.
That's right.
But we also have Michael lurking. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great today. You know, a lot of good to recap. I think, like you said, another day closer to the 4th of July.
What fan you are, you know?
Right?
Well, yeah,
oh, yes, Trey. I suppose it is. Yes. Excited to talk about the John Deere, though.
We can find some common ground there.
But 4th of July, you have plans for that kind of weird Thursday?
Going to Rhode Island for the weekend.
Starting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Post-show?
Yeah, probably. We'll talk, but I'm probably gonna have to go remote, like show like both days.
Let's go.
We're gonna do
okay, so Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then Sunday
back for the horseshoe.
Oh, sick. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Actually, we probably should talk to Dean too, because I feel like last 4th of July weekend we didn't.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike about that yesterday, but we'll follow up with them to make sure. But I'm in. If they're in, everybody else is in. So let's go.
We're in. Yes, absolutely. It's
us. It's them.
It's the John Deere Classic.
But I have to say, and like we'll get into specifics, but I fucking had it with the Yankees right now. Honestly, I'm tired of it every single day, the same conversation. It's really, really frustrating. And I know, you know, a little different. Obviously, you're not a fan of the team, but I feel like you resonate. You get it, Tony, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, I understand they have those tough losses against teams you should be winning against, certainly. And obviously, you're starting pitching, you know, not living up to what they're expected to be right now. I mean, yeah, sure. I know how that feels, dude, for sure.
But I don't know. I like it. Am I wrong to say? And you know how I am. I'm always like I've gotten called out multiple times for being like too positive.
Right.
And am I wrong to kind of have the mindset where it's like I feel like we need like to add 4 or 5 guys in order to fix this. Otherwise, like I feel like we're gonna have a terrible
pitchers specifically.
Season. No hitters. I mean, pitchers. I mean, that could be a problem. Obviously, Clark will be back next month. But you know, bullpen and 1 or 2 bats, I guess. Right? I mean, how do you see it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think at the core of your problem is pitching. I mean,
yeah,
you know, obviously, like you said, Heel is having a couple of rough starts right now, and I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like we've been saying this for a good portion of the year. I mean, like Caleb Ferguson can't be getting trotted out there.
He's got to be released.
He's got to be released.
Yeah.
Is right, dude. So I think, I mean, for me, I don't know. More so, I think the Yankees need some more pitching, some better bullpen arms. I think. I understand, you know, the Reds have some talent and have some hitters, but come on. I mean, you know, like Heel's just leaving fastballs over the middle here. You know, like when your occasion's not on there and you're a fastball pitcher, I mean, it's just not a good recipe here.
And I just feel like too, am I missing something, Tony? But and I know I've said this before. I might be a broken record. That's fine, but I don't understand like somebody like Heel, you know, who had such a great start to his season. Why is he not like doing, or maybe he is, but it's just, I don't know. It seems like there's something that I'm missing where it's like, why wouldn't he be going side by side comparison these last few starts to the first couple starts of the year and like just go back to that strat? I don't understand it.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe like some type of injury or fatigue or something. But I don't know. I mean, when I always see someone who has a location issue, it's mechanical. It's something that's physical that's wrong with them. And I guess, I don't know. I mean, Heel, you know, he's 26 years old. Has he ever really been in a position where he has the pressure to be good? like this, the expectation, I would say the first time in his career, he's kind of facing that too. So maybe that is playing a little bit of a factor. I mean, it's tough, dude. I mean, like you said, he's had such a good year in the past, 2-3 starts. I mean, it's just not what he was. And again, control on top of it. I mean, his last 3 starts, he's had 10 walks.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, and that was a concern going into the year.
Yeah, and again, I think there's a big reason why he was even pulled last night. In my opinion, I don't know. If I'm Boone, I understand what he gave up the hit, right? He gave up a run, and then he gave it was a solo shot, and then he hit India or what? I forget who he plunked some pitcher, and they pulled him.
And then Ferguson gave up the home run to Ellie.
2-run dinger, to Ellie.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, I understand it's like you're almost like Monday morning quarterbacking here. But if I was Boone there, I probably would have kept Heel in there.
Right. I mean, listen, he struggled. We get that. But Caleb Ferguson, I mean, we always talk about batting practice. It's batting practice.
It really is, dude.
It is. So, I mean, but like, I don't know, Tony. I feel like I've kept my optimism up thinking, it's around the corner. It's around the corner. But now I just feel kind of, even though, the end of the weekend, against the Jays was good, hard to like not feel very negative. Like I feel like extremely negative. And would I love to see a win tonight where, Rodon throws 6 scoreless and we score 7 or 8 runs, but it just feels like I'm gonna because I'm golfing later, be on the course with Matthew. And,
oh hell yeah, dude!
So we're pumped about that. But and I feel like I'm gonna look down at my phone in between shots, and it's gonna be like 3-0 in the second inning Reds. Like I just feel like that's going to happen. I want to escape that. I want to just stop this now, and I really don't want to wait till the trade deadline. Am I too antsy, or would you kind of feel the same way where? Let's do something now. It doesn't have to be anything major, but something, at least maybe even a couple of relievers right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting now the way even the rest of the league is set up too, because I would be a little nervous, especially because the Heel Rodon starts are back to back. Both pitchers have not been pitching great. It's the Reds, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
It seems like you're giving Cruz a reason to be hyped. It seems like you're giving the entire lineup a reason to start hitting.
Right.
So again, I understand it's Cincinnati. You're a better team on paper. You have so much more talent than them, but you don't want this to get out of hand. Like you do want something to happen now for you guys to win games. And even, Zach and I are looking at the standings. I mean, like the Phillies, the Orioles, the Dodgers, these are all teams that are winning games right now that you're going to be, they're your main competitors.
Yeah.
Even the freaking, the Guardians, dude, they got like 52 wins.
Yeah.
Like you do have this, I would say, like I said, I would feel a little nervous because these other teams are doing well right now too. Like you need to be keeping up with them. It's not a time to fall back,
Yeah. But I guess, I don't know, like, what do you think though is the bigger area of concern? Is it the offense or is it the bullpen? I know they're both a concern, but which one do you think is more
I guess
pressing,
the bullpen,
alarming?
The bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the only thing I would say to counteract that is you look at last night, you had 6 hits, 3 were by Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I know Ferguson served that one up, but like if you just like got more from your offense, you win the game.
Yeah, like you said, if Verdugo came into the 8th inning and hit a run, like, if he was on fire, like it literally is. But I feel like it's just one guy. You need one guy who's hitting.
Would be that guy.
And exactly. I feel like you have those guys already.
Volpe's in such a slump, though. It's insane.
He's gonna come out of it, though. I mean, that's expected.
He will, but I'm saying that's killing
right
us.
Now, killing
LeMahieu's killing us.
Trevino.
Verdugo really is killing us too.
Yeah, I mean, what did he draw like a walk in the 7th? But it's like, come on,
we're talking about guys drawing walks.
Do the hit?
Oh man, it really is tough, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, I need them to win 2 out of 3, but like next 2 games, like I'm gonna be kind of surprised if they win both games, honestly.
Really?
Like, and of course I want to see it, but I feel very, very deflated. So. I guess I hope they surprise me. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think they will do. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, like Rodon's, he's bound to have a good outing.
I think, but like these guys, their location has sucked.
What was his issue with? I mean, I guess Toronto.
You have fastballs over the middle of the plate. I mean, you can't do that.
Damn.
You know. But shut the fuck up, Kev. Right?
Oh
God!
man.
But you know what? We're gonna talk baseball. We're gonna talk about golf. But let's go to Michael Butka first, who had a nice. And I'm sorry, he had texted me right before I was getting ready for my day. But I got a nice wake up text from him this morning from Venice.
That is
so it
so
seems like
awesome, dude.
him, Jimmy, the rest of the Butkas are having a great time across the pond. Can you say that freely or no?
I mean, I guess technically,
You
sure.
think England,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
obviously, but it is like across the Atlantic
pond,
Ocean, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's correct.
So what do we got though?
Michael, like you said, it says, "Hey Barnes, dude, he's in Venice right now, 5 p.m. There, which is what, noon or 11?
Yeah,
In 45 minutes, he's gonna be on a gondola, dude."
Wow,
Which is pretty solid. Buckto also hyped about LeBron. Says that he's got to win us a title now. First thoughts, title win?
no,
Dude.
but I would welcome it. I would like to see him get that 5th title. I know probably Michael, the other Michael, would probably not want to see it.
Definitely not.
Ty Kobe, but I definitely would like to see it. But it's one of those things I would like to see it. But at the same time, if the Lakers have to win 20 games for the next 10 years, but the Yankees could just turn it around and win the World Series this year, I will take that option any day.
Speaking of turning it around, for some reason, Michael thinks you have a fedora on. It is a bucket hat, Michael. I guess because the headphones, though, make it squeeze it a little bit.
Yes, it does appear a little different.
It does.
And of course, would I expect anything less? But I feel like with the lighting, the camera angles, Tony, really popping right now. It's like a very bright white.
Dude. It's very clean white. And the hat specifically, you can tell like the, because you have a white shirt on, which is like a little off-white.
Yeah.
The Valhalla white.
Would you say this is a pearl white? Maybe?
A pearl white, yes. Also, speaking of pearl white, we have Josh B in the house. What is up, fam? Happy getaway day. Yanks, long season. Hashtag TC, hashtag sports, but hashtag DTV.
And I do have a question for Josh, if you wouldn't mind answering this. So, obviously saw him on Friday and he was, pulled me aside and he said, listen, long season, they're going through it. Everything will be all right. And I guess, since then, the Yankees obviously won 2 out of 3 against Toronto, but then this loss yesterday. I'm just curious if he's feeling any differently or it's the same sentiment. So if he could let us know that would be great.
What do you think? How do you think he feels?
I think he's gonna say the same, but it's just,
I think so too.
I again, Tony, like I'm distraught, and honestly, I feel embarrassed. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the only thing that I could confidently say is that we have 2 of the top hitters in the game, but the problem is, what else do we have? And that's what we need to answer.
Yeah, no, I think I totally agree there. And I know someone else who would agree is Lonnie, who says clean PGA bucket hat, my good sir, and solid Downtime TV t-shirt, Tony, with a capital, all caps, fresh, dude.
Two fashion compliments.
You have to see that, dude. This is probably one of my favorite shirts, honestly. The black tee, Downtime TV.
Wow, Josh B says he feels
classic.
the same, which is interesting. All right. So I guess, and the thing is, I guess that means that I'm singing the blues a little too hard, because Josh B obviously known to be pessimistic with the Yankees, and he's saying he feels the same. I guess it means I should still go abide by that as well. Right?
Yeah, I think so too. 75 games left.
The only question, one more question for you, Josh. Why can't we just do it now, though? Like, why can't we just turn it around right now? Why can't we go 10-2, 12-3, 17-5? Why can't we do that right now? Why do we have to fart around right now? I don't understand that.
I mean, I guess you could at any given moment go on that tear.
But I think we've been waiting a month, Tony.
Yeah, no, yeah, I guess it has been a month.
It's bullshit.
Kev, dude, don't want to miss his comment at the top of the show as well. He says a big fat let's go, dude, and something to be happy about. He wants to smoke. The Mets want the smoke. He says they are playing very well, dude, right now, which is good to see. I understand you can, say what you want, Nationals, extras, whatever, but
yeah,
they're a game over 500 now.
I still feel the same. Not to rain on your guys' parade.
Would you say 3-17 in the next 20?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Zach's cheesing over there. I don't think he would be that surprised either because
I think he'd be a little surprised at 3-17.
I don't know, but what at this point, Tony? I mean, you've been a Mets fan your whole life. What could you really be surprised with at this point? You know what I mean? There's been so many collapses.
What would I be surprised with if they won the World Series? That would really surprise me.
Right, but I'm saying, like, I think are you not surprised at a certain point of the season, like heavily surprised every single season at some point?
Am I surprised every single season?
Like at a certain point that something happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess maybe in the moment, but like you said, I mean, those surprises have been coming around every year. You know, blowing it in September.
Yeah.
You know, fumbling certain prospects, not doing the right moves at the deadline. Like that doesn't really surprise me.
Since you started watching, though, what stands out to you as like the worst gut-wrenching moment?
I mean, I guess.
Hi, Derek. Have you had lunch with Buffer recently?
Derek Ho really in the house is hi there.
That's so funny though, Tony. I'm still laughing.
I mean, I'm a little curious about Derek Ho.
Yeah, like who the
what is going on here? Come
he's
on,
buddies
the
with
hi
Buffer.
there.
Come on.
Honestly, I think probably Zach Wheeler. Honestly,
Zach Wheeler leaving,
yeah, letting him walk.
That's interesting.
Was probably in terms of the biggest fumble, I think.
I just figured you were gonna say something like I don't know, like the World Series or 06, something. I was thinking.
Yeah, I was trying to pick something like
or
more
2 years
recent,
ago.
or like I guess 2 years ago, the wild card.
I mean, you definitely didn't expect them to lose like that to San Diego, and what was it? Scherzer and DeGrom got hammered.
Yeah. I mean, I was worried about them against the Padres.
Yeah.
And again, at that point, so many things had happened too. And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if they do blow it here. And even going into that series with Scherzer, he was kind of a question mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God. Dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. I mean, I unfortunately have a long list myself. You know, and it really, I know it's just, I don't know. I feel like you don't know the feeling specifically, like unless you're a Yankee fan. I guess I just feel like it's different in a sense, just because, like, I mean, of course that 100-win season, like you had these very high expectations. You're like, this is finally like the moment I've been waiting for. But just on like our side of things, where it's like, you know, for most years, like obviously you have your years like last year where it just really was never possible. But most years, you know, going on 15 years that like you felt like you have enough to win it all and you just don't. I mean, that's it, especially the era that, you know, everybody like around our age grew up in, that they're Yankee fans, and to go through this. I feel like people don't realize, like, I know it sounds like stupid, but like just kind of like how like traumatic it is, like, you know what I mean? And like you keep getting up, it's almost like falling off a horse 15 years in a row and then just continuously getting back up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. It is super tough. I mean, again, those collapses, and then, you know, I think maybe you're getting ahead of yourself talking about collapsing and stuff like that. I mean, it is July 3rd, like you're still the top 3 team in baseball. You know, no one's collapsing right now. Again, you want to talk about 06 or even, you know, 2 years ago. I mean, the Mets collapses in September.
15, really, that game 1. If you win brutal. That, maybe you win the whole thing.
Certainly, dude. And again, you want to talk about 06. I mean, you literally have the division title in your hand and you blow it, you know, against a late season series against the Phillies, you know?
Yeah. 08 too? Didn't you just miss out on the the last game of the season? If you beat the Phillies, I think you would have been in the playoffs.
Literally, that was that stretch where, you know, that Mets Phillies rivalry was hot too. Willie Randolph after 06, dude.
Give him a break. Zach, do you hate Willie too or no? Tony, like, he's like his least favorite person on earth.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, he blew it.
Did he though, or was it the players?
It was everyone involved. Bobby Wagner gone after that year too.
But I think you're putting too much on Willie and not enough on the players, honestly.
Yeah, but come on, dude. How do you not, like, literally, I think you need like 1 win in 10 games and you couldn't get it done.
No, you're right.
Oh.
You're right. A couple more from Josh B here, asking to get the All-Star break now. But honestly, I don't know if I want the All-Star break. I want, like I said, a good stretch
to get through this first, yeah.
And then he says, ever since I destroyed Graca, we've stunk.
That's good. That's quite the, you know, observation.
Yeah. I mean, it does correlate, but I guess, you know, if we win the next 2 games and then win at least 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, I guess we're okay, but I want consistency.
That's
Tony.
so funny.
I want fucking consistency.
You think Grassa like texted Josh on the side? Was like, yo, like your boy Brian ever since he called in? I don't know, man.
No, I just want a good stretch so I could call his ass back, but I just can't call him right now. And it's crazy, dude. I have not listened to their show, like really listened. Like maybe I popped in here and there, or you had it on when I came in like a few weeks because of this. I cannot listen to it. I can only imagine every day how annoyed and how I would want to like just smash my radio listening to Grassa talk about the Yankees, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely missing Rick. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. And listen, listen, it's just like, I don't know too. I think they should rethink this whole strategy with the summer. And I get it. They want to be dialed in for football season.
Where are you?
But I think they would be better off just doing their vacation at the same time.
Tony Kerfuffle.
Because either way, the show sucks with Grassa. So why not have both of them out and then we'll have more shows with both of them there, no?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at that point, right? I mean, I feel like, especially, I don't know, even just honestly, just let like RJ and Raymond do the show. Like they're, like honestly, they're
get
great.
Grassa out of there. Oh my God.
Honestly, you really like tomorrow, like call in, don't even address Grassa. Just be like, hey. Dave.
Oh, but you think Dave's working on 4th of July?
Oh, that's a great question, actually.
But they've been known to work holidays before.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I don't know, actually. I guess we'll see. I guess you can call on the 5th of July if you want, or call next week.
Yeah, probably next
Don't
week.
even address Grassa. Just be like, hey, Dave, give me a guest spot on the show. I want to co-host with you. Bang.
And then a couple from Yanni here saying he wants fucking consistency, quoting me, and quoting me again, saying either way the show sucks with Grassa. Yeah, it does. Like, and honestly, I would challenge. Oh, it's Ty tomorrow. Ty's great.
Oh,
really
let's go,
enjoyed talking to
dude.
him at the Beach Bash.
Yeah.
But yeah. Why can't Ty just fill in? Why Grassa? Like, and also, could someone tell me one good thing about Grassa? Like, that's enjoyable. Like, don't say the imitations because those are not funny. Tony, they're not funny, right?
I mean, sometimes, but he just over
it
does it,
and
dude.
over.
And I will stand by this. Like, he seems like one of the worst guys to have a conversation with because he's constantly like sidetracking.
Yeah.
Like, and over the most like minuscule thing that it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about the Mets game, Alonso home run. Oh, did you see this lady in the stands that had some popcorn? I'm like, dude, like, we're focused on something else right now. Like, I don't need to hear every thought you have.
Yeah.
And that's where, my gripe comes with him, obviously, but it's not as deep-seated as Brian's.
And Yanni is saying, watch your mouth and talk about my guy, Dan Grassa. How about Dan have some stones and show up to the next ESPN event? I don't want to hear about the schedule, okay? That's definitely on purpose. So once he has the balls to show up to an event, then we'll watch our mouths, Tony, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, but and he says first it was Larry Legend, not Dan. Here we go.
Well,
Tony's still tight, but I
I'm
love
not
Larry.
still tight. Larry's great. Okay, met them tailgate. They're very nice people.
Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed talking with them. That was honestly an awesome
double
awesome
interview.
Yeah, because it felt like I was on their show.
Yeah, honestly, like we literally could not have interviewed them better because together that's together
them.
a lot. Yeah,
That's them.
It's awesome.
Anyhow. It's here, it's there, it's Silvis, Illinois, Tony, the John Deere Classic, which was established all the way back in 1971 as the Quad Cities Open TPC Deere Run, par 71, 7,257 yards. And the winner this year will get a tournament high $1.44 million, $8 million purse. Our defending champion, Sepp Straka, won last year, 21 under par, 2 strokes clear of Smalley and Todd. You had the postman, JT Poston, 21 under as well, 3 strokes clear of Behuzino and Grillo back in 2022. Lucas Glover, 2021, 2 shots clear of Moore and Nah at 19. No tournament in 2020. Dylan Fratelli, 21 under, 2 shots clear of Russell Heenley back in 2019. And then in 2018, we had a tournament record. Michael Kim, 27 under, 8 strokes clear. So that was obviously an impressive performance then. But when we think about this year, our top-rated player in the world actually dropped out, Patrick Cantlay. So our field is slightly reduced here. I do not know why. I'm imagining, though, it's the wear and tear, the grind, of all these big events that have been on tour recently. He injured himself while training.
Yeah. Abundance of caution, though, he says he's not going to be playing. So it does seem like he's going to be overall fine.
Yeah, it seems like something short term,
But no like details on what the injury was.
Yeah, so probably it's some bullshit, honestly.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
You think he was just maybe a little bender he's on, maybe?
Yeah.
Can't lay.
Yeah. He's tired of not winning majors.
Oh.
Because he's talented enough to win one. I mean, would you say, I think he's in a similar spot to where Xander was before the PGA this year, honestly.
Yeah, no, I would totally agree with that.
But that being said, so you got Straka, Jason Day, Sungjae Im, Jordan Spieth, Denny McCarthy, Lucas Glover, JT Poston, Eric Cole, Adam Schenk, Aaron Rye, Jake Knapp, Nick Dunlap, Davis Thompson, Ben Griffin, Peter Molinari, Lee Hodges, Luke List, Brendan Todd, Riley Davis, Patrick Rogers, and I have to end on Thorben Olsen, who is up to 82nd in the world. So there we go.
Good for him, dude.
So obviously this is a tough one to handicap. And last week at the Detroit Golf Club, I think we had a similar field, but I would say probably slightly better than this one. So these are tough. Feels like we haven't had a tournament like this in a while. What are your initial thoughts here?
I know. I feel it's Sungjae Im, obviously the favorite here. It's hard to go against him. You look at his results. I feel like he thrives in conditions like this, honestly. Some of the lower level events, not the big guys, but his last 6 tournaments, he had 4 top 10 finishes. Interesting that he was cut from the PGA and the US Open. But other than that, obviously killing it. I know I hate to be the guy that picked the favorites, but I don't think Sepp Straka is going to go back to back. The Postman, I feel like Jordan Spieth doesn't have I feel like his iron work isn't really that great. He's got great putting.
Yeah. Great chipping.
Chipping. Oh gosh, dude. I guess I'll go with Sungjae Im.
Sungjae Im, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for which would I believe his first victory of the year, right? Yeah, for his first victory of the year.
Only 26.
Only 26 years old. Obviously, we talked about him a little bit here. The attitude, loves to be there. And 5 top 10 finishes here, which is pretty solid. Like I said, his play has been great coming in the top 10s here. So I guess I'll go with Sungjae Im as my victorious guy. And I guess for sleeper, I'm going with Keith Mitchell.
Known for his visor.
Obviously, Cisco guy here. Placed, I think, 7th here in 2019. Apparently, from my research, does do well in courses such as Deere Run here, which relies, heavily on golfers approaching the green, with their irons. It seems to be where a lot of guys falter and where Keith can succeed. So the 30-1 shot may come up with victory here.
So how many hours of Golf Central did you watch last night?
Dude, not enough, Brian.
I swear I don't watch it that often. And really, I don't know. I just feel like lately, for whatever reason, I'm not like home that much besides the end of the night. And it's like Yankee game or the show. I love the Golf Channel. I could watch the Golf Channel all day. And it's like, even like European Tour, Senior Tour, LPGA Tour, Korn Ferry. I just love watching people hitting golf shots.
Yeah,
honestly.
dude. And honestly, I love the breakdowns are so sick.
Yes.
I catch a lot of it on Twitter now. And I just feel like every breakdown they do is because everyone golfs a little differently. Everyone has different, I guess just, I don't know, nuances to their game or just thoughts. Like the idea of how people think about how they approach a shot, where it lies, everything like that. It's really crazy to hear everyone's different takes on what they're seeing and stuff like that. You really do learn a ton, dude.
Brandel Chambly, take it or leave it or no?
Yeah.
He's a chief, dude.
But I guess I don't have who I got to see someone else talking, I guess.
No. You know who you would really like? What the heck is his name? Oh my God. He hit full stash. I feel like I had to look this up. You'd be riled though. What the heck is his name? This is going to bother me. Let's see. I believe we had a couple comments.
Oh, yes, we do. Great call. Get into the comments now. Jimmy Buckta says,
Jimmy.
yo, what up? He
Yo.
says, and he says, just woke up from a 2-hour nap. Obviously hitting the sauce early today. Needed that midday nap to sober up.
After getting hammered the other day.
Gondola ride, dude. But be careful, a few drinks, stomach's not feeling well, shaky boat. Don't want any mishaps in the canals,
Yeah, exactly.
But that's dope, Jimmy. Love to hear that you woke up from your nap, dude. That's great, dude. I'm glad you guys are living life. I've seen the photos on Facebook. You guys look great. Lovely family. Great job there.
What
do you got? Mustache man? Nothing?
Wagner. Johnson Wagner?
Johnson Wagner. That's who we got. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
You know?
I've seen this guy a couple times.
Like just on TV, you're saying?
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah.
Not golfing, but talking.
But that's your guy, Tony.
That is the guy, dude. That is definitely the guy. That's awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
He golfed? Still does?
I don't know. I just know of him from the site of it.
It looks like he's got
he probably
here.
Usually, I mean, that's how you end up there.
Exactly.
You know who's also very good? I know a lot of people here aren't listening to PGA Tour Radio on Sirius, but Annika Sormston is actually really good. She does a show.
Annika,
you know who she is, right or no?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
legendary
of course.
PGA player.
Wow. So she did it on Sirius XM?
Yeah. Yep.
Her own show, or
yeah, she co-hosts with somebody. I forgot who it is, but
That's
she's just very into golf. Very, very knowledgeable. And she had a long layoff. She retired young, I think, to be with her family, but then she's played some events the last couple of years and did well. So it's a good story. And speaking of good stories, I think Jordan Spieth, Tony, returning to glory, returning to the winner's circle this week at the John Deere. I just have a vision. This course usually friendly for the golfers, and Jordan with that short game, if he could just somehow figure out tee to green, I could see him winning here. So that's going to be my winner, and it would be a great story to see. And it's funny, it seems like he's been around forever, Tony, but it's like he's only 30 years old. So he could still have some of his best golf ahead, you would hope. Definitely a likable guy. So he's going to be my winner. And for my sleeper, I got to stick with it. Thorben Olsen, Tony,
go, dude.
Is going to be my sleeper. The young golfer there has played in some tournaments recently. And I look forward to continue to see him kind of shoot up some leaderboards,
you know how old he is?
He's got to be like 22, but look it up.
Thorbjorn. Teeing off at 9:35 a.m. tomorrow. He's 34 years old, dude.
Oh, okay. So I guess he's from Denmark.
Olsen.
Wait, but is there somebody? I think
Are you confusing with Thor Bjornsson?
Yeah, Thor Bjornsson, but whatever. I'll still do that as my.
Are you sure? Because Thor Bjornsson is in the play as well, I believe.
Is he?
This is past. What am I doing? I'm pretty sure I saw his name out there. Yeah, Michael Thor Bjornsson.
Okay, that's who I want. Well, he's got to be 22
years old. Yeah, go
actually,
young
I should
buck
change
here.
that.
Definitely, dude.
All right, wait,
Michael,
leave that up.
All
right, Michael Thor.
He's from
Bjornsson.
Thor Bjornsson from Ohio.
But the other guy's from Denmark.
Yes.
I don't know how you mix that up. Right?
I don't know. But I mean, the name, obviously, Thor's. I can't believe this guy's from Cleveland.
I know.
That's so funny.
Crazy stuff. And then I believe I had this pulled up here. Let's see what we got on the coverage here.
By the way, Kev Du says Grassa will be at the softball game, dude.
Oh, wait, when is this softball?
I have no idea.
I feel like I heard about it, but then
I feel like they need help, dude.
What do you mean?
Remember, didn't they get smoked last year, like 30-0 or something?
You're right.
Because they're like, I don't know, they're probably hitting the hashish too much.
Yeah.
Matthew Gabriel in the house now says, "Ayo, sorry you're late." Yeah, me too, Matthew.
No, he's just warming up for the course. That's why.
Oh yeah, we got your stretches in, some resistance training, perhaps. A couple nice swings in the backyard, maybe a few chips into the jungle gym, dude.
Yeah, why not? So Golf Channel Thursday, Friday, and then the combo of CBS and Golf Channel Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, definitely look forward to checking that out, and we'll see what happens. Can Jordan Spieth return to the winner's circle? You know who else I would like to return to the winner's circle would be the New York Yankees, Tony. So if we could go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So another tough one for the Yankees last night. 5-4 at the stadium. And you know, to me, and there were culprits here, of course, all over the board anytime you lose a game. But for me, it's the offense. And I know Caleb Ferguson, you know, a lot of calls for him to get released, which I would be in favor of for sure. ERA at 5.67. But for me, it's the offense. You know, you have Aaron Judge, you know, going 3 for 4. But then you have the rest of the lineup going 3 for 31. So I just feel like there's no excuse for that. It wasn't even like it was a ton of strikeouts. I mean, 5 strikeouts overall for the team. But just too many offers and not enough extra base hits. It's just not gonna get the job done. And we just see the same guys continuing to struggle, whether it's Trevino, whether it's Verdugo, whether it's Torres, whether it's LeMahieu, whether it's Volpe. I mean, I just named half the lineup. And you know, we talked about it in the open, but I just feel like you can't have that many outs in the lineup. It's not going to work. So it's just really frustrating to see. And of course, you know, the pitching recently hasn't done you any favors. I mean, obviously Cole on Sunday had a nice start, but Heel, second straight start, didn't have it. Definitely didn't have it. You look at his line, 4 innings, 2 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks. So the walks are killer, 3 strikeouts, and then you know, a home run allowed to Benson before he was pulled, and then ultimately Caleb Ferguson giving up that home run to De La Cruz. But yeah, it's interesting with Heel. You know, his ERA still at 3.41 because it was so good off to the good start he had. He only threw 83 pitches, and Tony was mentioning, you know, probably would have been a good idea to keep him in the game against De La Cruz instead of going to Ferguson. And who knows what would have happened if they had decided to do that ultimately. So, you know, you just hope that the Heel can turn it around and really, you know, go back to the way he was pitching earlier this year. Ferguson, like I said, I mean, he's got to go. There's just no this bullpen. I mean, it just needs to be fully revamped. There's a couple guys that could stay, you know, like Luke Weaver, of course, Clay Holmes, Canely has turned it around recently. That's fine. Kirk Cousins' cousin Jake has a 1.42 ERA this year, so I guess he could hang around. But you want to bring in some names, that's for sure. And it's a shame. So, you know, you put yourself in a hole. You're after 4.5 innings, you're down 5-0. You have the old battle back. Glaber's single in the 6th makes it 5-1. A Ben Rice double made it 5-3 in the 6th, and then Aaron Judge with a solo shot in the 7th made it 5-4. But Ungats, Tony, against Cruz and Diaz, and it really pissed me off with Diaz. I mean, he's been batting practice all year. Literally, even after the save, has a 4.6 ERA. He throws 9 pitches. You don't even hit anything solid. And I know, you know, it was the bottom of your lineup. You go with Wells, pinch hitting. But you just got to figure out a way to do better. And, you know, I know we've played some tough teams recently. But we talked about it. I mean, the Cincinnati, I mean, even with this win, they're 5 under. There's no reason to lose. You know, so it's just like, who's going to step up here? Is anybody else going to step up here other than Juan Soto and Aaron Judge? Because it seems like when that doesn't happen, you know, we really don't win. I mean, those guys can't do it themselves. And obviously Stanton's still a couple weeks away here. I guess they said, you know, he's been doing some light workouts, running on the treadmill, and it's just funny. He's running on the treadmill, but he can't run on the field, Tony. I mean, what's up with that?
That is kind of ridiculous, honestly, but I mean, nonetheless, dude, I mean, you said it. I mean, I guess they do need someone to step up offensively. You mentioned, Volpe earlier on, 0 for 5 last night. He's in a little bit of a slump. But nonetheless, I mean, I know it is kind of tough. I mean, again, I feel like everything we've been talking about necessarily hasn't, like, a few things haven't changed. Like, why is DJ still starting?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No. Like, one, no. We shouldn't give Peraza a shot.
Which is kind of
couldn't do better
ridiculous.
than
Yeah,
190 or whatever.
Are you kidding me, dude? And also, like, I mean, I know we spoke about Trevino not starting. I would have liked to have seen, Wells get the start and get more looks in there. And I understand
get more at bats.
More at bats, exactly. Do you get in the pinch hit? Did he pitch it in the 8th or the 9th?
The ninth.
Of course, like, comes in ice cold. Like, he's not going to do much for you. It's kind of a waste of a pinch hit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I don't think there was any given. I don't think anyone stole, honestly.
No one stole.
No one stole
even
anything,
attempted to steal.
which is kind of crazy. But I think other than that, I mean, I forget who had that sick bunt in, like, the second inning. Like
on the Reds?
A push bunt. No, on the Yankees. Dude.
Oh.
Honestly, it may have been Trevino, honestly, with the push bunt to move runners up.
No, probably Grisham.
Maybe it was. Oh yeah, it was Grisham.
Yeah.
But then again, like, you just get runners in scoring position and you do nothing. You're 2 for 7 on the night with it. Yes, you could use some more offense. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. You think it, like, these games, these types of losses, like starting LeMahieu, pulling heel at that time. Like, are you looking at Boone a little bit for mismanaging these games at all? Or
no,
do you think it's all on the players at this point?
Fucking have really blown it the last few weeks. I mean, it's like it's the same thing with Willie. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's not the culprit. And again, yes, you have to hit. We have to get production, from others in the lineup other than Soto and Judge. But Carlos Rodon cannot give up 3 or 4 runs over the first 2 innings. We're not going to win the game if the game starts that way. So that's what we have tonight. Andrew Abbott opposed by him, and his numbers are better than Ashcraft's, but 7-6, 3.41. Just like Rodon, I mean, a lot of home runs allowed here, 16 home runs in only 89 innings. Not really a strikeout guy, 72 over those 89 and 2/3 innings. But again, I mean, it's really the same thing here. You got to get good starting pitching, and there's no excuse to lose. Like, you have to win. You have to win right now. You talked about the other teams winning while the Yankees are losing.
Do you think at any point too? Because I mean, again, like, the series against the Mets, even against the Blue Jays, now against the Reds. I mean, you're losing to teams that are sub 500. I mean, do you think there's anything wrong with the clubhouse attitude? Like, do you think they're overlooking these teams?
Nope. There's just not enough guys that can hit on the team. It's a problem. And I mean, and a lot of slumps at the same time. Verdugo slump. Yeah. Gleyber slump. Volpe slump. I mean, that's a lot of guys to be slumping. And then Trevino slump.
Yeah.
Who's hot
right now?
Just me.
You sweating.
I meant more angry, to be honest. I'm honestly surprised I haven't, flipped out more. Maybe just because I'm kind of taken back. Like, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. And I just, at the end of the day, want to be proud of my baseball team again.
Are you not right now?
How could I be proud? I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but it's hard not to think negatively about tonight, even though it should be a walk in the park.
Yeah. Let's look at Abbott's last couple starts. Let's see. St. Louis, 5 innings, 2 earned runs.
Solid,
Boston,
which I think is a good thing because
and
then you think about road starts have been
at Milwaukee wasn't great, I guess. And even again, St. Louis, I mean, they don't have anything crazy. 10 Ks against Boston, I guess, is kind of impressive, but I mean, other than that, I mean, Abbott, I mean, honestly, you never know. And honestly, like Milwaukee, I mean, they have a good lineup too, like 5 innings, 3 earned runs there. He's not going to give you much length, it seems.
Yeah.
So again, Reds bullpen, the late push, just like you did last night too, hopefully just with better result. And again, you would imagine, I mean, I don't know. I will find it very odd if Rodon does go out there and get popped again.
Is it over?
The same way that he's been doing it, then dude. Because you're talking about like a third start where it's like
the first,
dude. Yeah, you gotta like why aren't you changing something? Like, stop throwing fastballs for a little bit.
Yeah. You know, we'll see. And you know what? This is just a random question. Just thinking about hitting here and pitching. You hear people like, I don't know, MLB Network or various, baseball outlets, baseball broadcasts, people saying that it's harder to hit than ever. And I'm sure, guys are throwing harder. There's different pitches, different speeds, Tony. But at the end of the day, do you think more of the high strikeouts, the low batting average, the low power in certain areas for any player, any team is more just about stubbornness and a resistance to change, a resistance to react? Is that more why it's so hard to hit, you think, or no?
I mean, I guess I would say that takes a factor in it. Yeah. But I mean, I do think it is like, pitchers are doing things, that we haven't really seen ever before. The way their sliders have progressed, the way fastballs are. Obviously a lot of pitchers throw over 100. A lot of people throw 92 mile an hour, 90 mile an hour sliders or sinkers. Like, it is tough, dude. But I do think that also it does weigh on the hitter a little bit. Again, it's that resistance to just get a single, a bloop single. Like, everyone really is like trying to swing for fences here. Rarely do you see, a guy who truly does hit for average. But I guess I don't know. I mean, we'll see if anything changes. It seems like MLB is obviously trying to force these changes. Pitchers using, changing the balls. Like making certain substances illegal at some points now. So I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes, and then you see the rise too of some of these players, like a rise. No pun intended. But honestly, no, I literally walked into that one. Didn't even know to stop it. You
already gave me the look.
No.
Zach's cracking up.
You gave me the look, dude. Kind of hitting for average. So, maybe we'll see the pendulum swing the other way. I guess we'll see, though.
Boy, the Yankees really blew it and should have traded for. Imagine if they had traded for a rise. I think we wouldn't be going through this right now.
Padres right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, what a waste. What a waste of talent.
I don't think we could probably acquire him, but I would love to.
Nothing worse in this world than wasted talent, Brian.
I feel like I would. I'm trying to think of who it would be, but I would basically give up like a pretty good prospect. To
Spencer Jones?
Honestly, yeah. With Glaber, just to get Glaber off the team.
Take DJ.
Get a ride. Yeah, and DJ. But we'll give you Spencer Jones. Let's go right now. If they want to give us Michael King back, I guess we'll take him and have him be our multi-inning reliever. Boy, imagine if we had him too. But obviously, Soto was more important to get. We can get relievers, but man, this is tough, and so I mean, I guess that's really it. Just hope to win tonight, Tony. Right?
Yeah.
And honestly, not to make me feel better or worse, like, what are you honestly envisioning tonight? Honestly, like, dead 100% transparent here.
100% transparency. I'm thinking like, honestly, like Rodon, like 6 innings, 1 earned run.
Really?
Yeah.
Like beating his chest.
Literally, like walks off the mound, standing O, back, excited. At that point, Yankees are up 4-1 or something.
So this is like a dominant victory on all angles tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Maybe not the off. You're not getting a 10-run game or anything, I don't think. But again, like a 5-1, 6-2.
All right. So hopefully we do see that, Tony. But fire away. Let's hear it. The Mets.
Oh my God, dude. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about the Mets now. Second game in a row here. The Mets are victorious in extra innings here. They have a 5-run 10th inning, I guess. Yesterday or 2 days ago, excuse me, it was like a 6-run 10th inning. So obviously a lot of offense coming later in the game here for the Mets. And you had a pretty interesting start. Obviously Sean Manaea here gets the nod here on the bump. And wouldn't you know, for the first time this season, Brian, Manaea goes 7 innings,
5 hits,
1 earned run, dude.
1 unearned run.
Only two walks, 1 unearned run,
under 100 pitches.
I know, very efficient. I think multiple times he had like a 9-pitch, 7-pitch inning, hammering his cutter to force a lot of ground outs and fly outs last night. Which obviously worked really well against a Washington lineup. And on the other end of it, you had your boy Hers get his second start against the Mets. And second time, he did a pretty solid job too. 5 2/3, 1 earned run, 10 Ks he had last night, and no walks, dude. So that guy Hers is seemingly going to be a future, I think, of their rotation.
Good stuff.
Yeah, seems to be throws the ball pretty well, at least against the Mets. Anyway, I mean, look at his ERA of 4.67. I mean, against 2 starts against the Mets this season, he's only given up 2 runs. So,
What did we have for fastball velocity? Did you happen to see?
I think he's at 95.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. Yeah. But he is. I mean, again, the accuracy was there, pinpointing the corners.
No walks.
And no walks. Again, the
Yeah.
control was there. It's really what you need at a lot of these pitchers. And again, like I think that's going to be almost like how you're talking about these batters looking for these home runs. Maybe we'll start seeing pitchers instead of throwing 100, like the 95, paint the corners.
You can't give free passes as bad as the hitters are today. You can't just give them free bases unless you're playing the Yankees right now, because I guess you can't score anybody anyways.
Right, exactly.
We load the bases with nobody out. We still won't score.
Which you've seen
happen
what the
a bunch
hell,
of times.
Michael? We're in the middle of
What happened?
it's changing the tape, dude. What are you putting on? The 96 World Series or something? Yeah.
It's not all about Tony all the
yeah.
time. Coach Carter, legendary movie.
It's all right, dude. I think
Tony doesn't like.
it was all right, dude. Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. The actors in there, I didn't think were that great, to be honest. All the kids, I wasn't buying it. Wasn't buying it, dude.
Well, it wasn't, we didn't produce it. That's why.
Yeah, no, obviously that is why, dude.
Yeah.
We should honestly remake it, and
Yeah.
Michael could be Coach Carter.
Yeah.
We could be the kids.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Michael's not about it, dude. You know who is about it? The Mets, dude. And again, I feel like a broken record here. Probably for the 5th straight game, the opposing team gets on the board first. And that happened in the bottom of the 3rd here. Actually off a pretty crazy play, which ended up in Harrison Bader leaving the game, which, again, we've seen this a few times this season, too, where Bader runs into the wall. This is kind of exactly what happened here in this scoring play. What's called Abram, I guess, reaches an infield single. Maybe it wasn't that play. I thought it was. It was. Maybe it was the young. It was before that. It was the young double to right where Bader hit the wall. Again, I don't know what Bader is doing. I feel like sometimes he is maybe a little stoned in that outfield. Because
he does seem like he rips it.
It seems like he is unaware of where the walls
And he's
are.
thinking about his stretches.
Maybe, dude. But I mean, this play again, it was and again, he missed the catch too, which is even worse. And he missed the catch because he felt the wall coming. So he did like one of these things, and then he hits the wall anyway, misses the ball, whatever, young doubles. And obviously then Abrams reaches infield single to short. Senzel scores there, makes it 1-0 early on in the bottom of the 3rd. But of course, Mania able to get out of that inning, courtesy of 1 strikeout and a foul out and a ground out, again, inducing a lot of those from the hitters on Washington. We'll fast forward here now, bottom of the 5th. Kind of unfortunate, again, leadoff runner Young gets walked by Mania, one of his few walks. Abrams goes out striking, swinging. Thomas here, oh, that's right. It hit right off of Alonso's glove. Lane Thomas, safe at first by an error by Alonso. And then Ramirez grounds the infielder's choice. Unfortunately, they could not turn to one of the rare times I feel like the Mets infield could not turn to. Young ends up scoring there, makes it 2-0. And then from there, we'll go to top of the 6th here at this point. Obviously, you're down 2-0, but Lindor, for his 14th dinger of the season, jumps on a 4-seam fastball to take it to left field here, 403 feet. Cuts the deficit to 1. Could get anything else out of that inning, but Hers does get pulled after that, giving up a single to Alonso. So you do go into the Nationals bullpen a little bit earlier than probably they expected. But like we've seen so far, too, with the Mets these past few games, a lot of late game run-ins. And I think a lot of that, too, the Nationals, between Gore and Hers here, have had 2 good starts. But their bullpen does suck, and then I think it's also indicative of them scoring a lot in extras too, because at that point, the bullpen guys for Washington are just terrible. But Harvey pitching for Washington here. McNeil lines at the shortstop. It's actually kind of funny. I think he struck out in the 3rd, heard him cursing over the microphone. Same deal here. He seems pretty tight, which is kind of funny because I feel like since he's been back a little bit, he was hitting well. At least situationally. No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think I can do that, dude. But nonetheless, Lindor gets his 25th double, I think, of the year, which is great there in the 8th inning. And then Nimmo follows that up with an RBI single, scoring Lindor. Lindor, I'll get to some stats about him after we, talk about the end of the game here, but he's been absolutely raking. And at that point, it was a 2-2 game. It's all tied up. Again, I've been praising Mendoza a little bit in terms of how he's working some of the roster. Seeing Jose Butto come out of the bullpen, I think is a great move by Mendoza. A young pitcher we've seen get a few starts this year. Now using him in the 8th inning, high leverage situation, tie game. He comes in the 8th, it's 3 up and 3 down, so you love to see that from Butto. And he comes in the 9th actually too. Gets kind of tough here, leadoff walk, but then Alvarez guns him down when he's trying to steal second. Love to see that. That's something, again, great defensive play by Alvarez. Bottom of the 9th too, like rile the team, keep someone out of scoring position too. Love to see that. Ruiz flies out. And then Butto gets to strike out in the bottom of the 9th. Nice little slider, lone away. We've been talking about how so many batters strike out on to get the Mets past that bottom of the 9th. Not going to lie, dude, you were a little worried. Lead off walk for sure with Butto. But nonetheless, we force extras. And we've seen, 2 nights ago, too, the Mets are just absolutely on top of their game here. You have Garcia at second base to start extras. Iglesias, who I think is 8 for 11 now with runners in scoring position, doubles to right, scores Taylor. Excuse me. And then again, another McNeil fouls out. Big F-bomb on the microphone. Keep that in mind there. But then back up here with Iglesias, I think on second at this point. Nimmo, another double from him. That was absolutely huge. Scores another run, obviously. Makes it 4-2 at that point. Vientos, back-to-back singles, makes it 5-2 just like that. And then again, Alonso coming in clutch here, tacking on these runs. The Mets, obviously, like I've said, have that awareness that they know they need to score a lot of runs because, their bullpen guys kind of shaky. But a huge 2-run dinger for him. I think it was his 20th of the year, I think. Huge spot for Alonso. He was amped up, jumping on a 4-seam fastball. Alvarez strikes out, but nonetheless, 7-2 game there. You bring in Nunez, too, for the bottom of the 10th. Again, I think someone we've seen a lot of, this revolving door of bullpen arms for the Mets. Mendoza recognized Nunez as one of the good ones, keeping him out there. Again, 3 up, 3 down in the 10th. Mets get the victory 7-2. Like I said, Nunez has been killing it. A couple bullpen guys that Mendoza have been using has been doing really well. We didn't even see Ottavino last night, which honestly good. Fucking sit his ass, dude.
Yeah. No, that's what you got to do. You got to make adjustments, put guys in different positions if the other guys are faltering, and that's what the Mets are doing.
Exactly. And I love to see that too. We gave JD Martinez the rest. I think he had 28 straight starts.
I saw he was scratched for fantasy. He was scratched because of ankle soreness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What I saw, it was kind of like, I guess, precautionary from the amount of starts he had, which was cool because you saw Terrence get the DH spot. Again, good midseason pickup. He had a big hit last night too. We know he's been pretty solid too behind home plate when he does catch. But so far, dude, Francisco Lindor, since leading off, has been batting .467 over 38 plate appearances, a .579 OBP, and an OPS of over 1,000, dude. So you have to see that from him. He's absolutely producing in that leadoff role. And honestly, Nimmo has been, I feel like, producing behind him too. I mean, because Lindor's always on base, and that's where you see Nimmo with these RBI doubles. Love to see that. And of course, on top of that, after that, you get Vientos. And Vientos has been batting .301 this year with 10 home runs, 26 ribbies. And Alvarez batting .306 this year with 4 home runs, 23 RBIs as well. So, I mean, the young kids are killing it. Lindor's doing really good right now. The Mets are on fire for the first time in a long while. Since really the beginning of the season, they're over 500 now. And they've been on an absolute tear throughout June and kind of strictly.
It's fun when you hit. It's fun when you win.
And, obviously taking it to extras, maybe you'd rather not see that, but it is, electric games where they're winning in extras and stuff like that. It makes for some great baseball. And like I said, a lot of guys are doing really well. You got to appreciate what Mendoza is doing, which I can't believe I'm saying that. And then you got Chad Scott making his first start tonight since, or not Chad, but Christian Scott making his first start since May. Which is great. I mean, we've been calling for his ass to be brought back up again since May, I feel. So I think, like I said, you got Minaya first time this season, 7 innings. Peterson was getting you through 6. maybe Scott can come in here and get you another 6, and then all of a sudden, maybe some of these, arms in your rotation start a little different here. Again, obviously, I don't want to jump the gun here because Scott has gotten popped a little bit in some starts. Obviously, Manaea still, Drury's out there. But I mean, you got to be happy with the way the Mets are playing right now. And yeah, I mean, I feel like now they're probably like a game back of the wild card, I want to say. Let's check it out. They're 1 game back. Padres are even with the Cardinals. Yeah, dude. So you got to be happy about that right now. So let's freaking go.
Yeah. I guess it's technically going against what I said, but it's only for one night. If you could just help me with the updating standings from the picks last night.
From yesterday. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, you want to start with me?
Let me just make sure you're first.
You're
424 30. Okay, no, I'm first actually. Not the same thing. But Yankees in the over. I know that's 1-1. And then the Guardians in the over.
That's gonna 3-1.
3-1, and then the A's in the under.
Right.
So 4-2. I mean, for me,
let's go. Yeah, it's great.
Pretty good. 4-2 brings me to I believe 18 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
18 and 18. So not too shabby. Just put that down here. 18 and 18. All right. And then for you, Mets in the over, that's 2-0, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Rangers in the over, Red Sox.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let me double check that because I feel like
it could have been 10.
I think it was 9.5. Which is pretty tough. It was
9.5. Okay, so
1-1,
and then you have Rangers over, Red Sox over.
I know the Rangers won. I know that. Was it the over? Probably not.
Probably not. Don't cease. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I know.
Killing my fantasy team. Killing it.
Of course, lose the over by a half again. So it's 2-2. And then I'm sorry, who was
Red Sox?
Red Sox also won, I think.
But did they hit the over?
They did. So 4-2.
Great. So I don't pick up any ground.
It should have been 6-0, honestly. Stop it. All right.
22 and 14. Jesus. Okay. 20. All right. So that means, Tony, that it is time for an abbreviated full-on baseball frenzy.
You is mother jumping right. Let's freaking go, people. Hump day, the day before July 4th. Let's freaking go here. We know the deal. It's the Nationals right now. 6:45 p.m. Still hosting the Mets at Nationals Park, Washington. The underdog, plus 120. Over under 8.5 now because Christian Scott on the bump is winless this year. 0-2, 3.9 ERA. I mentioned some starts where he did get popped. His last start, 5 innings against Arizona, 2 earned runs, only 4 Ks. Has had some bright spots, but also some tough spots here. I would anticipate, though, against Washington, the bounce back. How's he been doing in the minors? Pretty solid. He is matched up against Mitchell Parker. 5-4, 3.32 ERA. I mean, I guess really like the rest of the starters again in Washington could be good, probably won't be, but just okay, if anything. Alonso, hot right now. I said 20th home run. I lied. It was his 18th home run last night. He's going to get his 19th and 20th tonight. I'm telling you right now, dude, a 2-dinger night starts off for the first time in a long while. Alonso, Mets score first, put them on the board in the first. Alonso, 2-run homer. Lindor, maybe Vientos on the bags. A couple ducks in the pond. Alonso up, 3-run dinger, put up 3-0 early. Losing it, Brian. But the offense does not stop. Excuse me. Scott goes, I'll give him 6 2-earned runs, maybe 3. Call to start there. Mets go on to win this game. I'll say 7-4. Mets in the over, buddy.
All right. Let's see. Will the Yankees put me out of my misery tonight? I don't know. But I guess I'm going to go one more optimistic take here and just hope that Rodon gives us what we're earning for, Tony. 6 scoreless innings, some offense early. Maybe Anthony Volpe finally snapping out of this slump and maybe going like 2 for 5 with like an RBI triple. That would be nice. So I'm going to go nice and conservative. I can't expect a ton of runs, even though I wouldn't be surprised if Judge hit his 33rd and Soto hit his 21st. But I'm going to say 5-1 Yankees, restoring some order in the Bronx, Tony.
Wow. All right, let's freaking go here.
Yankees in the under.
Yankees in the under.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
So I'm losing.
No. Next game here for Tony here. Second game. The Braves. I want them to lose. Do I think they're going to win, though? Probably. I'm not going to pick them, though. Go with the Red Sox the well again. Eric Betty. No, dude.
Michael Waka. I just picked him up in fantasy. He's been on the heater recently.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
I'll let you take that game because I will be taking the Brewers over the Rockies. I mentioned the Brewers, sneaky good team here, has over 50 wins. They got their 51st win last night. Bounced back against the Rockies, excuse me. I'm still looking for a big night from Yelich for my fantasy team. Please, for the love of God, give me some power, some production. A 2-for-4 night would even be good here. Your over-under is 11.5. By God, that's a lot for Colorado. Even Colin Ray, Dakota Hudson. Ray 3.61, solid. Hudson 5.84 for Colorado. Give me the Brewers all freaking day long here. Over under, I know. I don't think it's hit the under last night. Give me Brewers and the under. They win 8-2. 8-2. Why not? 11.5 is outrageous.
It is outrageous, but it is Coors Field as well.
Don't care.
But it also is Kauffman Stadium, Tony, where Michael Waka is matched up against Ryan Pequot. And I think Waka, like I said, he's really been on a heater recently. 1 or 2 runs allowed in all of his last 5 starts, going at least 5 innings. The team only 2-3 in those starts. Nevertheless, despite tapering off recently, I think the Royals will win this game. I think Waka, again, 6 innings, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. I think Bobby Witt Jr. with 2 home runs, and the Royals win this game. I'm going to say 4-2. So it's the Royals and it's the under.
Wow, dude. Let's go. Last game, best game for the hump day here. I mean, do I go Dodgers? Gavin Stone has been great. Undecided there for the D-backs. I'm trying to think any fantasy implications. I guess Ohtani is on my fantasy team. I guess let's go to the well of the Dodgers. They just won last night, 6-5, edging out the Diamondbacks. Not sure who's starting tonight for them, but Gavin Stone, we mentioned, 9-2 in the year, 2.73. Tremendous year for him so far. Only has given up 6 home runs. I would imagine he gives up 0 home runs tonight. He goes 7 innings of unearned shutout ball, maybe a no-hitter through 5. As the Dodgers here win this game, I'll say maybe like 4-1, 4-0. So give me Dodgers and the under. Shohei Ohtani here hits his 28th dinger. He's leading every offensive stat for the Dodgers. Unbelievable for him, dude. Let's go.
All right. So for my last selection here, I am going to go with the Phillies. Good pitching matchup. Zach Wheeler at Wrigley against Shota Amanja. Wheeler 9-4, 2.73. Amanja 7-2, 307. But I think he must have been getting popped recently because his ERA was under 2. You really like that?
Popped by the Mets.
I don't know. It just is that how you say it or no?
Imanaga.
Is it Imanaga?
Yeah, right? Is it not? It's Imanaga. Yeah, I thought so.
Imanaga.
Imanja.
Shows how much other baseball I watch. Anyway, Tony.
The Yankees.
It's all about the Yankees.
I know. Call up Zach Wheeler.
But anyway, I guess one more time.
Imanaga.
Yes. Is going to get hammered once again. And I think the Phillies will win this game on the heels of a Zach Wheeler 7 innings of shutout ball performance. I think the Phillies win this game. We're going to say 4-1. So continuing the theme of unders here, the Phillies in the under. And just like that, that is your baseball frenzy, Tony.
What a great frenzy, dude.
What a frenzy. A bittersweet one.
Yeah, you were sounding very lowly over there.
I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, what am I supposed to do, Tony?
I know. No, you're right. You're right.
So I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So I guess there's just a couple kind of
crib notes.
Yes, exactly. And I just wanted to see too, because I hadn't kind of check the news here. I guess with hockey, nothing crazy yesterday, but I did see Tatar is back with the Devils, 1 year, $1.8 million.
Yeah, which is pretty sick for them. I think that's a great get for the Devils. They've definitely nabbed up some of the good guys around their team by adding a couple. We know the new goaltender as well. And Tatar for 1 year. I mean, why not? I know he's 33 years old. He's a nice little lefty winger here, which is dope. Pavel Buchnevich, probably some news yesterday too. 6 years, $48 million for St. Louis.
Bad job by ESPN. That's not on the news.
Really?
No.
This is TSN. I'm on.
Wow.
The sports network.
Well, if you think about it, I would say that they probably are. They cover hockey better. Just
oh yeah.
Even though has it been 30 years since a Canadian team won?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Rangers did sign Bo and Casey, Tony.
That's right. Yeah.
Anything on either of them?
So apparently Bo is a more of a touted player,
young buck,
a young buck, and apparently in the developmental league he's been doing really well. Whatever, even working with Casey Fitzgerald apparently. But again, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like I was doing some research yesterday on maybe where the Rangers are going right now. But they do have a lot of confidence, it seems, in Brennan Othman, who's been
I've heard of his name.
Yeah, he was called up a couple times last year.
And what position?
I think he's a defenseman. I could
Okay.
be wrong because I'm bad with like prospects.
So
and
how
stuff
does
like
that help us score in the postseason?
Well, I think
is he offensive minded?
let's see what we got here. Brennan NBA. What?
Because you put Benny.
Oh,
Benny.
Brennan Othman. Let's see, where are we, dude? Profile. He's a lefty. He plays. Oh, he's a forward. Okay, great. Even better, dude. He's a forward. Last year, regular season, 67 games played, 21 goals, 28 points. Kind of tough, obviously. Again, you want, Wolfpack, whatever. Still 50 points over the course of 67 games. Pretty solid there from him. So I guess, and I know we've been hard on Drury for not making moves.
He sucks.
Which
kinda.
He does still need to make a move.
I feel like he kind of sucks. Honestly.
But I mean, hey, if he believes in some of our young guys in the organization, like, why not do that?
No, I like that, Tony.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you, I mean, short of I guess Vinny T, and then you want to say Quick because he helped us when Igor was struggling last year. I mean, the last 5 years, I don't know. I just feel like he hasn't done that much.
I guess
he's resting on laurels from that surprising year a couple of years ago where we made it to the conference finals.
Getting Panarin, obviously,
that was a while ago.
Getting Trocheck.
Why have we pushed the pause button?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I know it's tough. I mean, again, I don't want to describe. I mean, he locked up Adam Fox. Obviously, did sign Hedl too, which obviously the injury, whatever, kind of tough. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's a short leash. I mean, this is the year. This is like the make or break year for him, at least anyway. But again, I mean, I don't know. I gotta still trust what the guy says right now.
But Brennan Othman, being on the first line, that's gonna make us win the cup next year.
I mean, dude, it could. It very well could. You don't need anything crazy,
but really though, I don't know, because I feel like in the playoffs, you kind of need somebody crazy that's going to score when you need to. And we didn't have that last year. We haven't had that. When was the time?
No, I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. And we spoke about it, and it is kind of like there's that fine line.
Yeah.
Because it is like in the back of your head, it's almost like you're thinking like, listen, we had a great year, great season. Like a lot of guys absolutely killed it all year long. Like the Rangers were unstoppable for a couple of stretches, like they were running through great teams. And it really is just like those big moments in the playoffs you need, which, yes, I mean, they call it the entire season culminates in those big moments. But you really are, I mean, you are like you're the tiniest speck away from winning the cup. I mean, when you really want to look at this team, and I understand you can talk about the 5-on-5 play, the lack of offense in big spots, where are your big names? But the guys are there. You have all the right cooks in the kitchen. They just got to just make the dish or whatever.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just a disgruntled fan, Tony, but I'm just tired of waiting. I don't want to wait
totally agree.
anymore.
I totally agree. And again, you watch these big names just fly by the table of free agency, getting picked up by other teams. It sucks. It sucks a lot, dude. And you're hearing that Drury and the Rangers are talking with Tarasenko again. And it's like, sure, that's cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you want to feel jacked up.
Yeah.
And if you sign Tarasenko, you rely on these young guys. You're not going to get jacked up until you see that out on the ice, because that hasn't been proven. Like these young guys performing haven't been proven. Tarasenko, we've seen on the Rangers before, and he kind of didn't do a ton, So it's still you're sitting here and you're kind of wondering, like you said, you're gonna have to be waiting and wondering to see what happens when the regular season starts, because that's when you're really gonna find out if what Drury's offseason plan is going to work.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you have Stamkos, you have Gensel, you're like, hey, man, like at least we have them right now. We know they're going to be good. Like we know they can perform in the postseason.
Yeah.
We don't have that right now. So, but again, that seems to be the strategy of Drury and the Rangers.
It seems very risky.
It does seem risky. But again, I mean, if you set this up correctly, you bring your young guys up, they develop, you have these guys currently that you're already in long contracts with, and they win a cup next year, all of a sudden you're going to, what could be like a dare I say, like a dynasty that competes for the next 5 years.
Is there anybody else like Rampy? I don't really have any expectations for it, but is there anybody else besides Othman?
Brendan Othman. There was another prospect again. I forget his name.
I guess it's Othman.
Yeah, Othman.
I guess he was their first round pick 3 years ago.
Yeah. Again, he came up, last season a few times, highly touted. Prospects.
Calder Cup playoffs, had a goal, 10 games.
I mean, you have to see that, dude.
Goal in 10 games. He fits right in with the rest of the Rangers for the
playoffs. Let's see what we got here. League in the OHL, the AHL there. I guess.
So, okay, he was up there.
He was up there. Oh, Gabe Peralta. That's a white ringer. I know he goes to Boston College right now. I think he's a senior now. Obviously that's someone who's maybe a little bit later down. This guy, Alex Belzil, is another name I've heard. Brett Berard, another name I've seen come across my desk a few times. 48 points. Is that real? Yeah, 48 points, total points last season. That's pretty solid right up there with Brennan. Such pretty interesting to see. I think Riley Nash was another one too, that I've read a lot about.
Rick.
I don't think so, and I really hope not, dude, because Rick Nash was like not great for the dude. If you were a fucking hockey fan back then, you would be so tight watching Nash, because it literally was the same deal. Came over from where, Brian? Columbus. Fucking tore up the Western Conference.
Riley Nash is 35.
Wow.
So I guess to New York, can't live up to expectations. Donnie Schmidt saying, hopefully you guys been well.
Oh, thanks, Donnie.
Been a while.
Yeah, it definitely has been a while, dude. I mean, I've been well. Mets doing well. So
yeah, I've been great.
But anyway, I don't know. You want to be hopeful for the Rangers. I guess we'll see. Tarasenko would be cool, I guess. But I mean, it seems like we're not going to see anything until next season, dude. Right? I mean,
but at the end of the day, I mean, give me if that is the plan, and it is Tarasenko and it is Othman getting the increased playing time. I mean, what is your offseason grade for Drury? Honestly.
I mean, again, like before puck drops for the next year, just an offseason grade, you're talking like C+.
Right. And it's like you're the general manager of the New York Rangers, and you're having a C+ offseason after falling short for the 30th year in a row.
If you do pick up Tarasenko, maybe. I mean, again, you didn't even do anything else. So, like, no, it has to be a C+. That's the one move you really make. Again, barring some trade that they're going to make, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't see anything being traded. I don't know if you heard the whole Trouba thing, by the way.
Well, I mean, what's the latest?
Well, basically, he was like, obviously, he was told he's going to be traded.
Right.
And like, that was the plan. They were going to trade him. But I guess his contract, he's in, I guess, complete control. Like, he can deny the trade.
But I thought I saw 15 teams he could say no to.
There's 15 teams he can definitively say no to. But I guess if he doesn't want to be traded, at least that was what it made it seem like when I read up on the post. But I don't know. I also don't know if it's just Drury just trying to be a nice guy, but I guess like the whole reason like Trouba's contract was revolved around his wife, because she's in school to be like a physician or whatever. Bro, and she's in clinical right now in New York. No, yeah, literally. And like, I guess it was delayed a year. So like now, like he didn't want to be traded at all.
This is pathetic.
Which is like kind of crazy, dude, when you really think about it. Because this guy was about to be traded.
Yeah,
and now he's just around, but like what? You're going to try and win a cup with the guy who didn't even want to be here in the first place? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous,
that's like
dude.
people being in a relationship and then one person like wants to break up with the other, but then they're like, oh, well, we live together. I'm going to be my clinical next year. So let's stay together for at least another year. What?
Again, like, I don't know what happened behind closed doors, but it seems very odd that would even be a factor. Like, if you want to play for the Rangers, play for the Rangers. You know, if you don't want to, then you're going to be traded, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it was also because maybe they were talking about Detroit and Detroit was part of I guess in order for whatever trade was up there, I guess maybe he had to waive his no trade team in order to be traded. Maybe that's why he's in complete control. Not entirely sure. And again, don't know what Drury said to him. I guess, you know, you can say what you want about Trouba, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like if I'm Drury, I want this guy out of here. You're fucking out of here, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, to be honest. It seems really weird, especially for someone who's supposed to be your captain. Doesn't really seem right. And it kind of gives me a bad feeling about a lot of things that the Rangers are doing. But I mean, what are you going to do, I guess, at this point? I mean, I guess you got to hope for the best. So
yeah, I just don't want to like watch the playoffs next year and just have to like say some prayers that like Mika and Panarin are going to score.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. And I don't know. I don't know if it's maybe more of a personnel, because again, I mean, you look at the first series against the Capitals. I mean, you saw Panarin doing well. You saw Zibanejad scoring.
But don't you
like
think
you
that's
saw
just
even Panarin in OT against
opponent,
Carolina, dude. And that's what I mean. Like it does a little bit have to do with your opponent, because obviously, you know, against the Panthers, against the Hurricanes that start to figure out a game plan against the Rangers. Obviously, you saw a lot of these players not producing. But I mean, at the end of the day, maybe it's something more so of strategy of how you're using those players too. You know, like maybe that there must be something else there. If Drury's sitting there and is like, hey, even, you know, with freaking Laviolette too. I mean, they must see something. You know, they must have sat down and made some type of plan, saw something go on, you know, in the postseason series that you had to fix, to improve on, and that's there, that they can rely on some younger guys. I don't know. I still in the bottom of the back of my head, bottom of my heart, are going to trust what Drury and Laviolette do. And again, I mean, if the results aren't there, then I trust Drury to step up, and deadline comes around and there's a lot of pieces being moved.
But I don't like, it's like the Yankees right now. Like, I don't like waiting till the deadline, because I feel like prices get higher, needs are more imminent.
Yeah.
You know, and then you kind of lose your shirt a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if it does come to that, you're probably going to pay too much for certain players.
Yeah.
Maybe get into some rough contracts, and you know, Drury will have to work his magic with the cap space, or pay a luxury tax or something. But at the end of the day, I mean, if it's cup or bust, you know, like he's gonna have to do whatever he can to get the cup. And again, I mean, I don't anticipate the regular season being an issue, though. Again, you know, like I don't think there'll be a stretch. Again, maybe somewhat like what we saw up until the outdoor game against the Islanders, you know, where like you kind of see some doubts between a couple players, maybe some injuries that put you in some tough stretches, like we've seen too. But I don't know. I mean, you put the same team out on the ice next year, like they're going to be producing like they were in the regular season, I guarantee it. So I don't know. I think time will tell. It would be crazy if we don't get Tarasenko. I mean, Drury's gonna get some other pickup. Like, there's something else going to happen.
Like, it's not going to be him specifically, obviously. But imagine if it's like somebody like Roslovic or Wenberg, and that's it. Like, then that's an bad, F. Dude. I think
it is an F. I mean, again, like those guys are, you know, role players you pick up at the deadline,
third, fourth line.
You know, they're not off-season acquisitions that get you fucking hyped up. So, so yeah, I guess time will tell. Donnie, by the way, does say, as a Sharks fan, love their draft. Tyler signing, excited for things to come. Yeah, I think so too.
Who's that?
Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah.
He played for the Kings, maybe Devils. Has had a cup of coffee with several different teams.
What type of player is he?
He's a forward. I guess depending on the team, second or third line.
But like a 20-goal scorer, 50, 60-point guy?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, a nice supplementary player.
And because they're so bad, is their number one pick? Is he going to play right away?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, we've seen that for a few years with San Jose too. Yeah. And I think they got Gustafsson too. They got either Wenberg or Gustafsson too from the Rangers. I forget which one. I think Wenberg maybe went to Detroit. or maybe I'm getting them confused and reversed. Then Donnie asked, who do you think was winning the offseason so far? Nashville, question mark. I mean, I think at this point, yeah, dude.
I'm going to say Lightning.
Really?
I think they just completely reset their playoff clock because they were kind of on the way out. But then the fact that you swap out Stamkos for Gensel, who's had success in the playoffs, and then you still have Braden Point and Victor Hedman, and maybe Vasilevsky could have a resurgence. I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I guess so. I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, they did definitely reset a little bit there for Tampa Bay, which is great. And you would expect a bounce back start year from Vasilevsky too, which again, I think, which is kind of why honestly, I think the Predators won. Cause again, Stamkos almost like resetting his clock, new change of scenery. Jose Soros, who they locked up for I think 6 or 7 years, their goaltender, a couple years ago, he had like that 75 save game. He's going to be great for them, I think. And then, of course, Jonathan Marchessault, cup winner with Vegas. You're adding so much cup winning experience. Brady Shea, too, going to be like a tremendous defenseman for
Nashville
them,
could be top 4 team in the East next
year. No, yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I know they were a wild card team.
Yeah.
I forget who they lost to in the wild card series. But nonetheless, dude, I mean, they were on the fringe team, too, of the wild card. So it should be very interesting to see, what they put out. But again, I mean, you'd imagine too that they're going to be so competitive. Dude.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Couple more things here. First, I guess I could send it over to you. But Michael Butka, I don't know if he sent it to you, but he sent me a picture of him on the gondola ride, cheesing Tony. So he said he wanted me to share it as breaking news for the sports board.
You send me the photo?
I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, speaking of Michael Butka, and he mentioned it in the open, the LeBron James extension here, 2 years, $104 million, no trade clause, and a 1-and-1. So he has a player option for not this season, but the following. And will turn 40 years old in December.
How old?
40.
What a loser, dude. He seems a lot older than that, to be honest.
I mean,
Doesn't he seem older to you, Michael?
Adrenochrome.
I know. I'm saying he looks older.
Always can count Michael
older.
for something like that.
I mean, I don't know. I guess good for the Lakers. JJ Redick. I mean, again, you would anticipate. I mean, is it that? Like, is this a surprise?
No. I knew he was going to resign.
Yeah, like, there's no way. Like
he's
2 years,
especially with Bronny there now. Bronny, who they said has earned his way.
He did. No, he really did. 4 points a game.
I mean, obviously, the only thing that hindered his development, the whole heart thing. So, I mean, let's see what happens. But I guess he's going to have a guaranteed contract and be one of the 15 active players next year.
You're going to go to a game.
Am I going to go to a game? Yeah. Well, the
Lakers
problem
Knicks?
is around here. I mean, it's $300-$400 to get in the door. Even the Nets. I mean, it's at least 2 and change. I mean, I guess it depends on the Nets are. Maybe they're so bad it's less. But I've gone to both, like to see LeBron. I've been to the Garden and the Nets. I hate Barclays. Like the arena is good, but I don't want to drive there. I don't want to park in some sketchy parking garage where you're 50 feet underground. You know what I mean? It's like it's annoying. Like you should be able to take the train. And I don't know why New York can't figure that out, Tony. But a subway again. I don't want to take a fucking subway. Are you kidding me?
well, because I think at the end of the day too, it's just like, I mean, honestly, the Nets shouldn't even fucking be there. Like that's what it is at the end of the day.
True.
Like just should not be there. And we're gonna look at this photo.
Michael Butka cheesing,
absolutely
Venice, on a
cheesing
gondola. Unbelievable, honestly.
Really is unbelievable to see this man happy.
Michael
and
having his moment
excited,
here.
dude.
Breaking news on the Sports Sport.
My goodness,
Butka
dude.
on the gondola with the guy
right there,
back,
dude.
A little flow going on.
Right.
Michael Butka. So
If you had to guess, Brian, what type of hat is that?
Boy, that is actually tough because like the color doesn't really.
Gray.
I'm gonna say
Yankees?
no, I think it's just like some random hat. I don't think it's a sports
Really?
hat. If I had to guess.
Honestly, he could turn around Penguins logo right on it.
Could be
Could be.
Yankees as well.
But damn, Venice, that's so nice, dude.
Yeah. So enjoy.
Great job, Michael.
Him and the fam for sure. A couple other things. Donnie Wenberg signed with the Sharks.
Yep. Will Smith will be playing this year too. Don't expect a lot.
Win wise should be fun.
Yeah, Sharks are
Couple
always good.
Hockey games are empty and cheap, I go there to watch games worth the 2-hour ride. Which
Dude,
is interesting.
Honestly, Donnie, I love that call. Sabres too. I mean, I would love to go to Buffalo and like get hammered and watch
We'll
Sabres
probably
game,
go to
dude.
Buffalo next year for Rangers Sabres. I mean, the schedule's out. We'll pick it out as we get closer
Oh
to the
my
season.
God, I would fucking love to do.
Have the wings, Tony.
Oh my goodness, dude. You been to Buffalo, Zach? You been to Buffalo?
I feel like not many people have been to Buffalo.
We can bring Zach
That we know
along.
of.
Rangers game, get
Yeah?
him into hockey. Let's go. Yeah,
go.
dude.
Yeah. So, that's really that. Is there gaming corner tonight?
Gaming corner tonight, dude. I'm gonna say 7 p.m. Michael and I in the studio.
Mano y mano.
Mano y mano. I think we're doing original PlayStation games. Not 100% sure yet. But
GTA.
that was I have GTA 3 locked and loaded.
It's you seem like a guy who played GTA for like 5 hours straight when you were younger.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, probably more so. GTA 3 came out. I was a little young, so the mom, didn't really like it or whatever.
Dude, oh my god. I wasn't supposed to have shooting games. I had to play shooting games with the volume off, Tony.
Really? I remember like the first time I bought like Call of Duty, and my mom was like, "It's rated what?" And I was like, "No, mom, it's just like war and stuff. Like it's it's fine. It's history."
No, but the funny part is, like, even though that was a rule, it wasn't too hard for me because I wanted to play the sports games anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, but I did like Gears. That's the thing. When the Xbox first came out, in love with Gears.
Oh,
right
dude,
away.
Gears is sick.
Less than 2 weeks to college football 25, the video game, next gen only.
That's tough for me.
Yeah, tough for all of us, honestly, because I would have gotten the game 100%. Wife is not thrilled, so I'm guessing Donnie's big on the college football, and I don't know. It'll be kind of interesting this year. Expanded playoff. I know it's always been tough for you, Tony. I mean, is there?
I mean, the only thing I want to hear about college football is expanded playoffs. Like,
yeah. Well, I think the problem was they should have went to 8 or 6 first instead of jumping to 12 because they're going to keep it spinning anyway. So now it's like, what? Next time it's going to be 24?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? It's just like, come on. Like, don't these kids have class to go to?
And then Michael C. Theophil saying, make sure to give Downtime TV a follow. Right on, brother. Honestly. So it's crazy how we could be here 1 second, there the next. Last question for you, Tony. We were just talking college football. Is there any type of scenario where, like, this coming season that you could see yourself, like, somewhat intrigued?
For college?
Yeah. An undefeated season or someone, like, breaking records at the quarterback position?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I feel like every year, though, there's some team that's, like, 12-0 that's or whatever. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
I just completely blanked out about
who won the national championship?
Oh, right. Harbaugh's swan song. Who did they bring in to replace him?
Oh, that's right, dude. I don't know.
Defensive coordinator?
Let's see, actually. Football.
JJ McCarthy.
No, it's not. Sharon Moore?
Offensive staff member for the Wolverines for 6 years. Co-offensive coordinator. Oh, he's an offensive guy. So kind of somebody getting, a chance here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He went 4-0 with notable wins over Ohio State and Penn State. Interim head coach during the 2023 season.
And then also, I mean, this is the first year that there's going to be no Pac-12.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. USC, UCLA in the Big Ten with Oregon.
Yeah.
UCLA.
That's kind of sick, I guess. This is going to be the first year that the Sacred Heart's in the MAC.
Wow, return of the MAC. So they're playing Iona.
Correct.
Wow. Should be a good rivalry, Tony.
But obviously there's no football in the MAC, so I think it's really weird.
Independent, or they're gonna still be part of the
NEC?
NEC?
See, I don't know, because I think 3 other schools left the NEC last I checked. So I think that conference was almost gonna dissolve, dude. Like, it's kind of a shame.
Quick check
honest,
here
dude.
before we wrap up on the NEC, Tony.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got teams like St. Francis, LIU Post, obviously Wagner, CCSU, Sacred Heart was in there too. Stetson, I think, was part of the NEC. I don't know. Could be wrong on the Stetson part. I know we played Stetson a few times. I'm trying to think
they are still active.
They are still active.
Let's see. Member
There are
schools.
4 teams in there. 4 schools.
No, there's Central, Chicago State, Fairleigh Dickinson, Lemoyne, LIU, Mercyhurst, St. Francis, Stonehill, and Wagner.
They added Chicago and Lemoyne.
Yeah,
new definitely this year. Must have made some replacements
affiliate members.
used to dominate all those schools.
Lemoyne.
Wagner, LIU Post, Shoe, and all the other schools you just named.
All right.
Hammered them.
How'd you guys do last season?
I wasn't there. Doesn't matter. I'm saying when I was there.
It's like I went back there, the other day, Brian, and I was talking, asking questions on the locker room. And when I referred to Michael Theophil, the term locker room cancer came up. Bang.
By the way, independent for Sacred Heart. So
That's
they will
fucking
join
tough, dude.
UConn as the second independent school in the state of Connecticut.
Wait, what school?
UConn?
You can.
Okay, that was just weird. My laptop. Did we get one more comment, or did we already get to that?
We have one more comment just came in. Michael Buckta? No, Donnie.
Probably last year for
For
ACC,
ACC.
which would be
Wow,
crazy.
dude, that would be
We'll have to
crazy.
see. But here we are. So speaking of crazy, that's all she wrote. But another great show today.
Let's freaking go, baby.
Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume. The merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go, Yankees!
Let's go, Mets!
And we will see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.